And once again, I started the meeting without having my mic turned on. So that was... Yep, real quick though, board members, before we get started, I want to ask for a moment of silence. There are horrific fires that are taking place in Utah, in Colorado. And we just recently learned that one of the firefighters from the U.S. Forest Service that is out addressing the fires, 3 firefighters were killed. One of them, Emily Barker, is from Clinton Township. Our hearts go out to her family. We honor her commitment and sacrifice, and I'd ask folks to bow their heads. Thank you. For the purposes of an announcement, Clerk Meltzer.
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. I just want to let everybody know that absentee ballots for the August 4th primary did get sent out. We had approximately 22,000 absentee ballots from both the combined permanent ballot list and the absentee application list. If you receive your ballot, it can take up to 10 days, and they were mailed out Thursday of last week. It can take up to 10 days, so if you are anticipating a ballot and you haven't received it within 10 days of the 25th of this month, then please contact our office and we'll spoil that ballot and we'll issue you a new one. You can vote, though, up until the August 4th election. Thank you.
Okay. A roll call, please, Ms. Meltzer.
Trustee Wade.
Here.
Trustee Matuzak.
Here.
Trustee Kress.
Present.
Supervisor Gillaham.
Here.
Trustee King.
Present.
Treasurer Aiello.
Present.
Clerk Meltzer here.
Okay. And then approval of the agenda. We have a total of 8 items.
So moved.
We have a motion.
I'll make that motion.
You second it?
Second it.
I already said- okay.
Been motioned and supported by Clerk Meltzer, Treasurer Aiello. Comment, Trustee Kress.
Just when we get to consent agenda, I want to take D, E, and G out for discussion.
Okay.
I believe, wait one moment.
Motion to separate is always in order.
Yeah, it is. Hang on one second, though.
So that doesn't really affect this motion.
Right.
Yep.
So roll call, please, Ms. Meltzer.
I'm sorry, what were the letters that were?
D, E, and G.
D, and G, okay.
Is that correct, Ms.
Yes.
Trustee Kress?
And for public notice, note that item F has been deleted.
Okay. All right. We are on approval of the agenda. Motion and support. Roll call, please.
Clerk Meltzer, yes. Treasurer Aiello?
Yes.
Trustee Wade?
Yes.
Trustee Matuzak?
Yes.
Trustee Kress?
Yes.
Supervisor Gillaham?
Yes.
Trustee King?
Yes.
Motion passes.
With a motion to separate in order for D, E, and G, I will ask for a motion on the remaining items on item number 1, the consent agenda.
I'll make that motion.
Support. Been moved and supported. Any discussion on the items? Roll call, please, Ms. Meltzer.
Treasurer Aiello?
Yes.
Trustee Matuzak?
Yes.
Trustee Wade?
Yes.
Trustee Kress?
Yes.
Supervisor Gillaham?
Yes.
Trustee King?
Yes.
Clerk Meltzer, yes. Motion passes.
Item number D, approval of appointment to Ordinance Enforcement Officer position in the Building Department. Trustee Kress.
I'll do D and E together. I've said on numerous occasions, I've asked, posed the question, when are we going to start reducing the staffing in our building department? Seeing as how Clinton Township is 95% built, I think now is the time to roll back on staff, not add staff. And as a secondary question, are these union employees? I know one's part-time, but the other one, is that a union employee or is that a at-will employee?
I think the answer is yes, both are union employees. And in response to D and E, these are not building department people that work doing inspections of properties, they are ordinance enforcement officers. So they are the folks that ensure that when complaints are made, they investigate, are well aware of the ordinances that exist, and issue violations in order to seek compliance.
So we're adding one full-time employee and one part-time employee, essentially.
We are refilling those positions. They are current budgeted positions.
Okay, but one's part-time, one's full-time.
Correct.
Okay.
Mr. Supervisor, one is moving from full-time to part-time.
So,
It is a position that,
all right. We have the full-time person that is retiring, going to stay on for training purposes. Then one of the clerical employees within the building department is been approved to take the full-time position. The part-timer will be filled with the person who is currently the full-time position, sort of as a transition, I think, to retirement. But not having to do with building code and building permits.
Thank you.
For
Any
clarification.
further discussion? Clerk Meltzer.
Thank you. So that position that the ordinance enforcement position will have to be filled by that, correct? We still
I'm
have
not
to-
sure what you're asking.
We still have to fill that position that Miss Melody is leaving. She's presently in the,
She is
Building.
currently one of the clerical staff within the office and has applied for and received approval by the department director to now serve as an ordinance enforcement officer.
so we'll soon receive a request by the building department to fill that position of office clerk too.
That
then.
is item number G.
Oh, that is G. Okay, perfect. Good.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, any further discussion on item D? Since they were separated, we'll have to take them separately. Item D, any further discussion from the board?
No, sir.
I make a motion to approve the appointment of ordinance officer position, building department.
Is there support for the motion?
Second.
Okay, been moved and seconded. Any further discussion from the board? From the public? Mr. Buchel, nice to have you back.
Yes. I am very concerned with the ordinance or enforcement officer positions because, as the email I sent you all today, which is my question for tonight's meeting, the residential properties get dinged and they go up and down the streets and we see their, the signs on the sides of the truck. But the commercial properties, even when something is totally detailed, such as the property I gave you tonight, which after many, many years is still listed as vacant property with no improvements, even though it's got a site plan and illegal parking and such, but they have not gotten a ticket or anything. And this is massive compared to little old ladies that haven't cut their grass quite long enough. And I think that, this board has to understand this is a long-standing problem, and if you read tonight's email, I would hope you'll, really consider that as you appoint ordinance officers, because something's going wrong. Because I can, all the different, complaints that I put in. I've sent you all pictures of this property for years now.
Mr. Buchel, that property is unrelated to the filling of this position.
Well, ordinance officers should be doing their job. Thank you.
Thank you. Roll call, please, Ms. Meltzer.
Trustee Matuzak?
Yes.
Clerk Meltzer, yes. Trustee Wade?
Yes.
Trustee Kress?
No.
Supervisor Gilliam?
Yes.
Trustee King?
Yes.
Treasurer Aiello?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Item E, Trustee Kress, you kind of spoke to both of them,
Yes,
but...
I did. We can go ahead and vote on it if you'd like.
Okay. so
Make a
we,
motion, I make a motion to approve the appointment of a part-time ordinance officer position in the building department.
Second that motion.
Okay, moved and supported. Any further discussion on the motion? Roll call, please, Ms. Meltzer, on item number E. or
Trustee
Letter
Matuzak?
E.
Yes.
Clerk Meltzer, yes. Trustee Wade?
Yes.
Trustee Kress?
No.
Supervisor Gilliam?
Yes.
Trustee King?
Yes.
Treasurer Aiello?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Item number F, or item lettered F, 1F was deleted. Item 1G.
Okay.
Trustee
Again-
Kress?
Yep, again, along the same lines, this is authorization to fill a vacant office clerk 2 position created by the promotion of an incumbent to another position in development. Again, I'd like to take this opportunity to reduce staffing and not backfill this position, and that's my position. Thank you.
Further discussion on the item.
I make a motion to adopt the recommendation of the Personnel Vacancy Review Committee.
Is that motion supported? I'll support.
Yeah, oh, okay,
Any further discussion on the item?
sorry.
Roll call, please, Ms. Meltzer.
Trustee Matuzak?
Yes.
Supervisor Gillaham?
Yes.
Trustee Wade?
Yes.
Trustee Kress?
No.
Trustee King?
Yes.
Treasurer Aiello?
Yes.
Clerk Meltzer, yes. Motion passes.
Item number 2, applicant for appointment to the Parks and Recreations Committee. This is the person that was introduced and spoke at the last meeting, Mary Pope. And it's now time to vote on that position. Is there a motion?
I move the appointment of Ms. Pope to the Recreation Committee.
I'll support.
Yeah, it's listed as Parks and
Parks and
Recreation. It's always been
Recreation
Parks and
Committee.
Recreation, but we're starting
a
to make
small little
we're starting
blank.
to make the distinction here because Parks is more DPS related. and
Right.
Recreation is more along the lines of programming.
But that committee's
Supported.
for both.
Yeah.
It is for just parks and for the recreation programs.
Correct.
And I would note that her criminal background check came back. Okay?
Okay, is the motion supported?
I support it.
Okay. Any further discussion on the motion? Going once, twice? Members of the public? Roll call, please, Ms. Meltzer.
Trustee Matuzak?
Yes.
Trustee King?
Yes.
Trustee Wade?
Yes.
Trustee Kress?
No.
Supervisor Gillaham?
Yes.
Treasurer Aiello?
No.
Clerk Meltzer, yes. Motion passes.
Item number 3, recommendation of appointment to the Housing Commission.
This is also someone we were introduced last week?
Well,
Or last-
they
the
were
last
not
meeting?
in attendance last week, but they were introduced and per a policy. It's a 2-step process. They had the opportunity, and second meeting here, we decide on what we'd like to do with the application.
Supervisor, if I may. This is someone who is, she's put in some time to understand what is going to be asked of her on the Housing Commission. She's interacted in several meetings, as a volunteer. She currently lives at the Housing Commission and would like to contribute in a more meaningful way, and I think would be a great addition to the team.
Great. It's my understanding that she is a resident of the community, and per HUD rules, we do need to have a resident.
Yes, this process has taken us over a year now. So when we have individuals who step up and stood out to help, I think it would be important to give them this opportunity.
Okay, and is that a motion? Trustee King?
That is a motion.
Okay, motion to approve the application.
Support, and I would also note the background check came back okay.
Okay, any further discussion? Roll call, please, Ms. Meltzer.
Trustee King?
Yes.
Trustee Matuzak?
Yes.
Trustee Wade?
Yes.
Trustee Kress?
Yes.
Supervisor Gillaham?
Yes.
Treasurer Aiello?
Yes.
Clerk Meltzer, yes. Motion passes.
Okay, item number 4, disposition of township-owned properties.
On June 11th, 2026, the Clinton Township Property Disposition Committee reviewed multiple offers to purchase the Clinton Township-owned property as follows. Vacant lot Stepnitz parcels number 16-11-12-311-005 and -006. Recommendation to accept the offer of $200 and transfer with quitclaim deed contingent upon parcels being combined with the homeowner's adjacent parcel at 42434 Orchard Street, submitted by Ms. Heather Van. Vacant lot parcel number 16-11-01-100-052. Recommendation to accept the offer in the amount of $60,000. Authorized signature of the purchase agreement and transfer with quitclaim deed once the terms of the agreement are met, submitted by Mr. Mike Kennedy, Contour Companies. We submit this recommendation for your consideration. Sincerely, Bruce Thompson, Director of the Department of Planning and Community Development.
Okay, Mr. Thompson, thank you for being here tonight and for working the committee through this. If members of the committee wish to speak on this, there were 3 in attendance, so my deputy wasn't available, so I'm not as familiar with this agenda item as those folks that are making the recommendation. However, I do believe that we're looking for a motion for the
I can read it.
property of the adjacent property owner conditionally upon combining this parcel with her existing parcel.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second that.
Okay? And so I think it's a good idea to take them separately. So Trustee Kress made the motion, Treasurer Aiello supported. Any further discussion?
Just,
So we're voting
comment.
on separate parcels?
Yeah, so we're voting on the
first and second.
Stepnitz parcel.
I'm very happy to see a homeowner willing to step up and take over 2 vacant lots and maintain them and make them part of our community.
Okay? Trustee Kress.
Julie, just want to let you know that their intent is to also build a garage on the once they combine them with the proper setbacks to our utilities and such. So it's going to be it's going to go on the tax rolls with a garage.
I think it's great.
Okay. Further discussion? Roll call, please.
Trustee Kress?
Yes.
Treasurer Aiello?
Yes.
Trustee Wade?
Yes.
Trustee Matuzak?
Yes.
Supervisor Gilliam?
Yes.
Trustee King?
Yes.
Clerk Meltzer, yes. Motion passes.
Mr. Supervisor, may I sort of ask a more general question?
Trustee Matuzak.
This is a homeowner willing to take on a couple of vacant lots next to them. What is our general procedure if other residents are interested in doing this sort of thing? How does this proceed?
Contact the Planning Department Director, Mr. Thompson. If there are vacant parcels near your home and you would like to make an offer on them, the township is happy to receive those offers and bring them both to the Property Disposition Committee and the board.
Thank you.
A little bit, I guess, further explanation on this. These are properties that have come to us through tax foreclosure. They tend to be vacant and no structures on the property, so vacant land. And somebody decided, whoever owned them at some point, not to continue paying the taxes on them. They went through the tax foreclosure. When the township first receives them, some of them we've held on for a very long time, we take them to a closed bid auction. That closed bid auction, run through the clerk's office and through the planning department. People have the opportunity to make a bid. If no bids are made, then they become township-owned properties and we entertain offers. So,
Great.
okay. Is there a motion on the second part of this
So moved.
agenda item?
So moved.
Approval of the Kennedy transfer.
So moved.
I'll second that.
And supported by?
Support.
Aiello.
Supported by, Treasurer Aiello first, I
don't know who
guess.
supported
Okay.
it.
I didn't hear it. Mr. Thompson, my understanding is there is a proposal for multi-family, not certainly part of this motion, but that is the intent.
Yes, once the board approves this, if they do, we'll be meeting with the developer. There's actually a rezoning and site plan approval that will be coming forward through the Planning Commission and Township Board process. That's stipulated in the proposed purchase agreement. It gives that petitioner time to go through the governmental processes of trying to get the property rezoned, site planned, and it will be for multifamily development.
Okay. We have a motion and support. Any further discussion? Seeing none, roll call, please, Ms. Meltzer.
Clerk Melcher, yes. Treasurer Aiello.
Yes.
Trustee Wade.
Yes.
Trustee Matuzak.
Yes.
Trustee Kress.
Yes.
Supervisor Gilliam.
Yes.
Trustee King.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Item number 5, site development plan approval for proposed Unity Park, 1.47 acres of vacant land fronting the northwest corner of Romeo Plank and Partridge Creek Boulevard.
This commission has made review of the site development plan and hereby make recommendation for approval of the proposed site development plan. This action was approved by unanimous vote, and this matter was petitioned by Dominic F. Mosheri, Partridge Creek Holding Company, LLC. We submit this proposal for consideration and would appreciate advisement of your determination. Sincerely, Bruce Thompson, on behalf of the Clinton Township Planning Commission as director. Thank you.
Sir, I know this is a plan that's been in the works for some time.
Correct.
You're probably here on behalf of the Moseris.
Yes, it's me.
And so if you could introduce yourself and speak to the item.
I am Dominic Mosheri. So just going to kind of give you a brief history on the property. As I spoke about during the Planning Commission meeting 2 weeks ago, this parcel was originally part of the site plan approval for what's known as Montclair Partridge Creek, the 604-unit apartment community. Fast forward a couple of years, we were here on another site plan approval on Dove Street and Partridge Creek Boulevard when there was a little bit of divisiveness, I guess, on whether to get rid of Columbus Day and Indigenous Peoples Day, so on and so forth. It was very contentious.
Yeah, we don't need to revisit that.
That's not
So my idea is that not the idea, but the whole point of this park was to say, enough of the divisiveness. We're all immigrants. We're all Americans. We need to unite and be one. And this park really is here to celebrate that. So we decided to donate the property that was originally proposed for 8 townhome units and come up with this beautiful park. Ms. Meltzer, if you could please be so kind and scroll down, I can show everybody the sculpture in the top left corner of the next page. Right there. One
Which
up.
one?
One more up.
Here?
Yes.
Oh, right.
And zoom in on that top left corner if you could, please. So we have commissioned a sculpturist by the name of Eric Nordine. He's commissioned several properties for our family in the past, as well as several municipal art installations around Michigan and Detroit, as well as the country. This sculpture, just a little bit about it. The base is made up of 7 facets representing the continents. The circle around it as if we were looking through a telescope, if you will. And the abstract sail is just kind of for a sail. Then the 5 blue orbs inside of it represent the oceans. So the purpose of the park is to educate and to celebrate immigration, exploration, and to really just bring the community together.
Great. Mr. Mosseri, thank you so much. We're going to turn it over to questions from the board.
Sure.
Before we do so, I want to state greatly appreciate the gesture for the residents of Clinton Township. It's my understanding that this property, however, is not being donated to the township, it's being donated to a nonprofit.
Correct.
The nonprofit will then be responsible for maintaining that property.
Correct.
And those arrangements have all been worked out and
Correct.
To the satisfaction, obviously, of the planning commissioners for the township.
Correct.
Okay, great. Trustee Kress.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the site development plan for proposed Unity Park.
I'll support that.
Okay, it's been moved and supported. Trustee Matuzak.
I just have a question. The entrance to this park, is it off of Romeo Plank? Is it off of, is it through the Italian American Cultural Center? How is?
It's through the Italian American Cultural Center.
Okay.
We've received parking space easements through the Italian American Cultural Society. That's how it's working.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Okay, great.
I was concerned about an entrance on Romeo Plank there.
Great. It's also my understanding that a lot of the landscaping, the existing trees are going to be preserved. Certainly not all of them because we want it to look like a park, but trees as buffer zones, as some of the residents were concerned about, that was resolved to their satisfaction as well. Okay. All right. Any further discussion? Clerk Meltzer.
Okay. Can you come up? I just have a question. Sure. So I wanted you to clarify again, what is it you guys are doing? What was going to be in that place?
8
Prior.
townhomes.
8 townhomes.
Correct.
So you guys have donated,
So this is-
foregone that profit margin, huge profit margin, to donate this to bring the community together. So
Correct.
Just wanted to clarify that, and thank you for that. I think
It's our
that's
pleasure.
very generous of the Mosheri Foundation, and I appreciate that you've given this a lot of thought, and I know it's taken some time. What is the timeline that this will be?
It's going to be grand
Completed.
opening October of next year.
October next year. Okay. Excellent. Thank you so much.
Any
I
other
also
questions?
say the Norden brothers have done work in Clinton Township. They've done work in Sterling Heights. They're very well respected and very creative, and they have a marvelous showroom in Detroit, and it's great to see what type of things they come up with, but not just what they come up with, but how they've sort of envisioned it, and the kind of the intent behind it, and what things represent.
Yeah,
in
we
their
kind of just
mind.
let them go for it, this one. We usually kind of direct them a little too much. This one was artists have at it.
Okay. All right. Trustee Wade.
And I kind of want to piggyback on what you just said, Paul. I think it's a great gesture to the community that just the name alone, Unity, kind of gives a pulling of people together, and certainly we need more of that in the community, and I want to thank you for stepping up and going forward with that project.
Thank you, and it's our pleasure.
Yes.
Any further discussion? Roll call, please, Ms. Meltzer.
Trustee King.
Cress.
Did I do it
Kress.
wrong? Did I do it? I'm sorry. Trustee Cross. Sorry about that.
Yes.
No, I marked the actually wrong person.
Okay, brothers.
It's very hard to hear. No, it's just
The AC is like,
Yes.
I can barely hear things.
Trustee Wade. Did you make this?
Yes.
Okay, very good. Trustee Matuzak.
Yes.
Treasurer Gilliam.
Yes.
Trustee King.
Yes.
Treasurer Aiello.
Yes.
Clerk Meltzer, yes. Motion passes.
Thank you so much. Have a great evening.
Thank
Thank
you
you so
again.
much.
Please extend our thanks to the Mosseri family. Item number 6, request approval to apply for grant funding, Community Green Infrastructure Grant Program through SEMCOG.
Okay, the grant has no match and has the grant potential of $50,000 to $300,000 per project. The application deadline is August 21st, 2026. If awarded, the project is anticipated to be completed within 12 to 24 months. And we're requesting approval to move forward with the application process for the SEMCOG grant as described. Sincerely, Grant Committee.
Okay. Any discussion on the item? Is there a motion?
I make a motion to submit the grant for SEMCOG Green, whatever it is.
Green Infrastructure.
Green infrastructure. I don't have my glasses on.
Great,
Keep
okay.
them on.
Motion by trustee Matuzak, supported by treasurer Aiello. Any further discussion? Roll call, please, Ms. Meltzer.
Trustee Matuzak.
Yes.
Treasurer Aiello.
Yes.
Trustee Wade.
Yes.
Trustee Kress.
Yes.
Supervisor Gilliam.
Yes.
Trustee King.
Yes.
Clerk Meltzer, yes. Motion passes.
Item number 8, request approval for Clinton Township Campout Pilot.
No, 7.
Skip 7.
Oh, excuse me, 7. Item number 7, request approval of school crossing guard invoice.
Dear board members, attached for your review is the invoice from Chippewa Valley Schools for school crossing guards for the 2025-26 school year. A comparison of this year's bill with last year's is as follows. In 2025 to 2026, the amount was $26,219.96. In 24 to 25, it was $23,479.28. Please review the attached invoice and approve for payment. Sincerely, Jessica Lea, Assistant Finance Director. I'll make a motion to approve that.
I'll second that.
Motion to approve and support by Clerk Meltzer, Treasurer Aiello. Discussion, Trustee Kress.
Can someone enlighten me why we're paying for this and the school millage doesn't cover this?
So, I told Ms. Leha, given the routine nature of this, that she did not need to attend the board meeting tonight. So I am going to give it my best shot. State law says that the township and the school district share the cost.
It's pretty succinct.
Okay, so this is a 50-50 type of arrangement?
What's provided in the packet, Trustee Kress, and the explanation I've just given you is what we have to go on.
All right. Thank you.
Trustee Wade.
I would also like to add, and hope Captain Capola can confirm this, that the crossing guards really do a great service for us, because if some of those locations aren't staffed, they'll actually call the PD and we have to break an officer from patrol and put him at those spots, which obviously is a much greater expense. So I've questioned that for years and looked at the numbers, but when it shakes out, it really works as an advantage, and it's very financially beneficial to the township to do that.
Thank you. Trustee Wade. Further discussion? Mr. Bouchel.
With this being a joint responsibility of the state and the school districts, I'm more concerned as to why Clintondale hasn't bothered to have crossing guards. I mean, they've got 15.
The item is regarding the invoice from Chippewa Valley.
For crossing guards, yes.
For crossing guards, yep. There's not been a request submitted by Clintondale Schools, and but to keep the subject matter germane to what we're talking about here, it is about this particular item, crossing guards for Chippewa Valley.
Okay, but well then, we'll just say, at all the school crossings in Clinton Township and the various school districts have co-responsibility, and I think with 5 school districts in our township, you might want to look at that.
Thank you, Mr. Bouchel. Further discussion from the board? Roll call, please, Ms. Meltzer.
Clerk Meltzer, yes. Treasurer Aiello.
Yes.
Trustee Wade.
Yes.
Trustee Matuzak.
Yes.
Trustee Kress.
Yes.
Supervisor Gillaham.
Yes.
Trustee King.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay. Now, item number 8, request approval for Clinton Township Campout Pilot Project.
Supervisor?
Trustee King.
Thank you. So this is the situation. I previously last week put something that I think was rather probably grandiose and several pages of information. And I realized after talking to some more of our staff members and also some of the folks from the Quinn Road Community Club, that might be challenging to be able to pull off. What we were looking to do was a township-wide campout and try to do that on the campus of Prince Drury Park, which would be fantastic. But ideally, trying to pull that off in time this year, between the construction that is going to be taking place at Prince Drury Park, it would be a bit challenging. So I redid, the proposal, and so hopefully you all see it in your packets now represented. Essentially, we're looking to try to provide a camp-out experience prior to the Quinn Road reunion. So it's very simple. I know our township works to do some work to that, to make that event run off smoothly, and works with the Quinn Road Community Club to have that happen. And so we're trying to scale this back to have a valuable experience for our residents, still make it something that could be available to individuals, not necessarily sponsored by the township, but something that would still be a great experience, and I think is important that we want to see out of our community and come through, which is something that was noted earlier, getting away from divisiveness, polarization, and trying to get together with community and try to know each other and try to move something that's very positive. So there's Shaquela. Would you mind coming to this, to the podium if you could? And if it would just please the board, if you would just listen a little bit as to why she wanted to bring this to the table. And
Hello. My name's Shaquela Honiston, and I came up with the idea basically just to get the community together. We do have a lot of new people too in the area. We have a lot of people that's kind of like less fortunate that
Is that microphone on?
not able to. I don't think I was close enough. Can you hear me?
Okay, yeah.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
Speak up.
Okay.
Is it
Yep.
green? Is
We're
it green
having-
at the base there?
Yeah, it is.
Okay, good. Okay.
that may not be able to experience this. So by bringing it to Prince Drury Park, it is local for the community, and also people outside of like the neighborhood as well. So.
Okay. That
Yeah.
being said, just to add to this, the goal is to try to keep this as simple as possible. We're not going to have a bonfire, as to not, add more, worry or concern to the township. We're not going to be, our goal is to truly come in the day prior to the Quinn Road reunion. The Quinn Road reunion is done on Saturday. The goal would be that we would have this campout starting on Friday. People set up in the morning, and then I've got a small sample run of show. It's not exact, right? But just a sample run of show, what that would look like. That we would get set up in the morning, have different events, whether it be, different camp, type things, playing games, connecting with one another, and then sleep in, or camp outside out into the evening, and then the reunion goes on that Saturday. So ideally, there's going to be coordination and conversation that has to take place with our DPW department. They're gracious in the work that they do. We're trying to keep this very simplistic so that we can have this experience. Ideally, the goal would be we do a small pilot, we learn what this experience is like, and then we work to try to create something that's a larger experience that, hopefully that would support more individuals throughout the whole township,
Right.
and try to make this into something that'd be meaningful. Did you want
Yeah.
Yep.
No, I agree. Yeah. Because
So-
I know it's last minute, and I know it's late, but moving forward, I wanted to make it bigger to extend a hand to even this side of Clinton Township. So.
Trustee Matuzik.
I'm a little confused by your run of show. It looks
Julie, I
like
think you kind of need to speak in the microphone too.
I know.
'cause It's,
this AC is
yep, I'm
making
having
white
trouble.
noise. It's really hard to hear. Your run of show for the Campout includes a unity walk in Mount Clemens.
It's I just was a typo from a template that I got from one of the Quinn Road community folks, so it's just an error.
Okay, so
Yeah, we're not going to do a walk there.
okay,
It's just
got
an
it.
error.
I was confused by
No,
that.
I mean, it won't be
because it's
long.
the Interface Center's unity walk.
It'd be a
but-
good good walk.
Yeah, no, it would be a good walk. But you could walk around the neighborhood as opposed to go.
Yeah, no.
Okay. I am concerned, this came up in discussions about the reunion last year, that we wanted to camp on Friday night or focus on the reunion. I'm a little concerned that we waited this long, because there are some real questions we have to figure out here. Bathrooms need to be open all night. Does that mean we need a park ranger there all night? What does that cost? How is the setup for the camping area going to coordinate with we finally, I feel like, got a good handle on the reunion set up in the park? How are those things going to coordinate? I just worry that we basically have a month to figure all these things out, and that concerns me. Because I would like this to really be successful. I think a community like Campout is fabulous.
Right. And the park is big enough to where we're able to have tents, camps, like the campers, and also the people that's setting up their tents for the Quinn Road reunion. So I don't feel like that would be, we will be in the way of people setting up their tents for the Quinn Road reunion, because it's really large enough for both.
If I may.
Trustee King.
I certainly understand your reservation. I think in part there's just something bigger to this, and I'm not trying to disqualify what you're saying, Julie, but one of the things that's really important for having Shaquela and some of these other individuals here is that they represent not just something about the community, but it represents something that's extremely important, which is we've got individuals that's passing this down from another generation to the next, and that's I think we've all at different moments in time as elected officials, I'm not going to speak for you all, but you all have observed and experienced life as I have. You wish and you want that next generation of individuals to pick up the baton from other individuals. We have that now. I'm not saying that it's not going to be easy. I'm not saying it's going to be without some extra work from our department heads and from those groups. I don't mean the I certainly am respectful of the hard work that they do. I understand they're understaffed. We have the opportunity to do something special. And I know that it might be a bit of some extra work now, and I don't want to even, quantify it a little bit, but we have some opportunity now with some extra work to hopefully create something that's going to last and it's going to build off of it. We have that next generation that's there that wants to see this go off. I think it's going to go off well. I think we've had the Quinn Road reunion without incident for a number of years now. I think this is going to be a good opportunity for people to be able to mix. As Shaquela mentioned, there's new people that have moved in to the community, which is obviously great. We want to be a destination for individuals to live and come. And part of that is not just great schools or being secure, but part of it's like things to do. Part of it's that feeling of neighborhood and community. And I think this is something that we're looking to extend out from the inside out. And I think it's a good opportunity to be able to try to do it. If we can try to get past some of these challenges that we're going to have and the experience, I'm hoping that we could make that start this summer.
Trustee Kress.
Looking through the packet here, through the chair to Mr. King, do you have it laid out in quadrants or 30 by 30, 10 by 10 areas or anything at all like that?
Typically what happens, Mr. Kress, is that we sit down with the DPW department and they plot out for us what this may look like. So we have to have some more conversation as to where we could have the tent area compared to where we would have like the pop-up campers that typically come in for the reunion. So ideally, we haven't directed any staff to do any work or do anything with this yet. And so ideally, that conversation of what we have gridded out from last year, we would have to change and negotiate through Mary's department to work that out. So we don't have that gridded as of right now.
Okay. Through the chair again, like Julie said, it is a bit rushed. What I would like to see is I'd like to see the campsite, for lack of a better word, separated into quadrants and have it introduced at the Quinn Road reunion, because I know you go to the reunion, I go to the reunion. Families like to be next to one another, and they've got their favorite spots, and they show up early. I'm afraid that if given the opportunity, they might camp over next to their sister, cousin, or whatever. But if they show up in the morning and the campers are where they've gone for numerous years in the reunion, I think it could be problematic. Like I said, I believe it's a bit rushed. And if we were to introduce it at the Quinn Road reunion and reserve spots for the next year, give them first dibs on where they want to go, because we know that they attend, and then the additional spots would be open to the general public, and I think that would be a recipe for a successful camp out.
Chair, if I may.
Trustee King.
I hear you, Dan. The situation we've got here is that Shaquela has met with the Quinn Road Community Club, and she's representing them. I had a call with these individuals who represent the group on Saturday, and kind of walk them through the reality of where we're at as an organization, as a township, that, hey, great idea. We want to be able to see this work. What we've got right now is not really feasible, and we need something that's palatable to be able to work. And so that's where we from based upon some conversations I had with some of our township administration, they weren't necessarily advocating and saying, well, hey, if you do it this way, it's, we're 100% behind it, because I don't want to, I want to be transparent with everyone. But they said that would be a more reasonable, palatable, digestible way to be able to make it work, because we're already setting up for the Quinn Road reunion. And therefore, if we're out doing that, we can carve some of this space out and do it. Is there additional work that has to happen? Yes. But the individuals here are from the Quinn Road Community Club, who put this on within the township. So it's not like I'm coming from aside from that, saying, well, there's going to be new people that are going to come in perhaps that would take affront to like where they might be situated from a camping perspective. I think everybody would kind of work organically with what that may look like.
Okay. And through the chair, one more question.
I see the floor, Trustee Kress.
I see the $6,000. What do you foresee the monies are going to be used for?
Ideally, Mr. Kress, originally that was the plan is to try to get 6,000 to be able to pull some of these different things off within the township as a more of a township-sponsored holy event. So that would be like for a DJ, face painting, some of the different things that we do during some of our park night out events. However, in my updated plan that I submitted, I've omitted that just to try to, again, make this palatable so we can try to move forward and have this event. If it pleases the board, I would appreciate opportunity to be able to provide some of those those aspects. But at this time, I really want to be able to provide this for our residents who are looking to try to have like an additional feature to something that we already do as a township, and I think is just an additional great experience for us to be able to move forward with.
Okay, all right. Like I said, my concern is, well, the money's one thing, but the second thing is that I don't want to see people that come year after year be come only to find out that their favorite spot or their prize spot with all their cousins has been taken. I think that a grid or some sort of layout has to be done in advance, and we also have to give the people who attend the Quinn Road, have to give them a shot. Not necessarily first dibs, but let them know what's going on and possibly leave a deposit or sign up for it or whatever it is. I'm in favor of it. I just think it's rushed for this year. So unfortunately, it would be a no on this. But I think it's a great idea that needs a little bit more planning.
Well, I assure you, those organizers are, and I think they would like to speak.
Yeah, we all work
So
together.
if I can, I'm going to gain order of the meeting here. Ma'am, I did see that you rose. And so I'm assuming you had something that you wanted to address on a point that was made so far.
Yes.
I have more board members to speak, but.
This will be real quick.
Make sure you use the microphone.
So we need you to.
Yes, hi. So I'm Deanna Hodgson. Okay, I've been a resident of the community for over 50-something years since birth. Come from Quinn Road. I've attended all of the Quinn Road reunions. Okay, so if people are there and they're there, then they are able to witness the layout of the land. Maynard is here. It's very huge. So yes, they do have parking, which would be an issue if that was not, everybody wasn't coming together. It's just not us. So the people that attend this Quinn Road reunion every year are very aware what's going on. The structure of it to have the campsites on one end is very much so what we can do. We're not trying to have them all stacked where the cars and the trailers would be, because it would not be safe for the children. However, the ballpark, right where they built the little sidewalk and everything, is plenty of room to have that structured just for these actual 10 by 10 tents or whatever. We're not gonna put up a good big old tent like that. This is just temporarily for us to come together as a community, which no one has never ever did or supported us with this. As far as the toilet paper, Miss Julie, we will come up with that if we can't get support. We're not worried about toilet paper, water. We need all the support we can, but we would definitely make that happen. And to keep a clean bathroom, we don't need staff to come out to do that. We have enough supporters to make all that happen, and it will be clean without, leaving.
We would appreciate it, but if that's
We
gonna stop it, then
we can work together to make that happen. Yes, it's a short notice, but nothing beats a failure than a try. Really, I mean, it's out here. Everybody's anxious to do it, and I think everybody will pull together to make sure it's safe, make sure it is a good turnout, and not just be a pop-up type thing. Quinn Road reunion, if you notice, you said you've attended, it has kind of depleted a little bit. Let's bring it back to where it has to be. Like I said, I've owned property out there. I've been out there for years. You drive by and you come. It's not like it used to be. So we're trying to bring that back, keep everybody safe, have everything, very, very comfortable, supportive. And yes, if you guys have donations, fine. If not, we'll figure it out if you guys pass it. Okay? Thank you.
All right, thank you. Trustee Wade.
I like the idea. I would be supportive of it if there was a bigger time to prepare this. And I say that because for many years, the township did a sleepover here at the Civic Center. I know that I don't think they've done it the past couple of years, but for many years they did it. And they did it based on a national template, because there was a national movement across the country for communities to have sleep outs at their municipal buildings, which we participated in. That took months to plan. Sponsors, timing, you talked about grids. It's very complex. You need to register people, and this national program had the do's and don'ts. What are the pros of doing this? What's bad about maybe doing something like this? But it was all very well planned out. I'm in support of it, except not in this time frame. I think it's too soon. I would hate to see something happen because it was rushed. I would rather us wait 13 months and do a knockdown job. I really would. I
have a
appreciate
question.
all you people that have showed up tonight to put this together. And I know Mr. King's been very proactive on it, and I support his efforts. It's a great idea. I just think we need a little more time to lay out the protocols for it.
So I do have a question. So when you say by doing this short notice, you would hate for something to happen, like what?
Well, so I think we need to be careful here, because the township board meeting is where the board asks questions, people can speak, answer them, but it's not a back and forth or a debate between, somebody in the audience and the board members. But, Trustee Wade, you have the floor.
Yeah, like I said, they have a national template that they put out on doing these campouts, and they talk about problems that have occurred. And I think your committee, if you had a chance to review those things and prepare, I think your event would go off great. And like I said, I'm in support of it. I think it's a great thing. It's just, I think the timing is too tight. And that's just my opinion.
What exactly do you mean, like timing? Like
Mr.
what
Supervisor?
can happen, like now that can't happen in 13 months? Like
Okay.
Well, I think you need to have time to prepare. When Parks and Recs does that together, they plan that out months ahead of time, set up registration systems, send out notices in their packets. There's a lot of things that take place, and get sponsors together. So there's a whole protocol that goes together for months ahead of time, and I just think a month's time is too short.
Okay, Clerk Meltzer.
This is to the board, actually. I would like the board to give me an example of when we've ever supported something that, and how do we support it financially? Let's not say this organization, let's say another organization wants to come based on precedent that we have given a certain X amount of dollars, in this case, not to exceed $6,000. If we had given this organization $6,000, what's to give us leverage to say, sorry, we aren't, we're going to pick winners and losers here. If we
Clerk
approve
Meltzer,
this, just a moment, let me just.
I want to just real quickly, Trustee Kress had asked the question and Trustee King had answered it, that this no longer contains a budget item. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Well, I know,
Okay.
but I'm
I
hearing
just
back
didn't-
and forth
I
that
didn't want to
it
go down
might.
an area that, is not relevant
well,
to the
then
discussion,
let me just say, I am not in
but you have
support of
the
it.
floor,
I am
Clerk
not in
Meltzer.
support of it if it includes a $6,000 bill or any amount of money, because we cannot justify, nor can we afford to pay for any other organization that might come to us and say, this is a good cause. Yes, it is a great cause. I'm not denying all that. But the thing is we can't afford it, and the taxpayer, I would not say that would agree with that. I mean, the taxpayers footing this bill, we'd have to hear from a township-wide level. That hasn't been done in this case. I don't know any other instance where we have made a donation to one specific organization that doesn't benefit the township as a whole. Remember, it's the taxpayer paying this. It's not us paying it. It's the taxpayer paying the bill. So I am in support of doing an event.
Miss-
Wait a minute,
Whoa,
we are having a conversation here. I was specific in saying this is to the board, because I just want you guys to be aware that we're not in a position to award, to pick winners and losers, to say, oh, yes, your event is worthy of taxpayer money. No, sorry, your event is not. How do we discern that, and how do we afford that going down the road? I think it's a slippery slope to, to pay. Now, can we afford it by allowing this to take place? Sure, I'm all for it. But how does that happen? Well, there's a lot of planning there. They're going to have to figure out. They've got to market it. They've got to, get staff direction, camp layouts, a lot more time. And these are comments I'm making to you guys right now in the audience. And registration is a good idea. We have to think of the consideration of safety and welfare of everybody that's participating, especially if we're paying for it. So it is one thing. This is a safety issue as well as a coordination issue, as well as whether or not we can really even do this, where we're giving taxpayer money to picking an organization. So this is if you're, Mr. Supervisor, you're trying to make these meetings more business organized. This isn't a back and forth with, I
I've
hope.
stated that, and I'm enforcing that.
Okay. That said, I would like to make a motion to deny the approval of the Clinton Township Campout pilot at this time.
Is that motion supported?
Excuse me, can I say something?
Nope, not yet.
I'll second that.
Okay, motion's been moved and supported to deny the campout. Further discussion. Trustee King.
Ms. Meltzer, when I started this, I mentioned that this is the $6,000 would have been if we were going to do something that was going to be presented township-wide, okay? I've since mentioned that this is a new piece. We're just trying to move this along with the Quinn Road reunion setup that we normally do as a township. That is it. I'm not looking for $6,000. Same thing, Mr. Wade, I understand what you guys are saying as far as looking for sponsors and registrants and getting everything out, communicated out to the community. I get all that, but we're not trying to make this, we're trying to include local communities best we can, along with the Quinn Road reunion. We would communicate this out as the Quinn Road Community Club regularly does, as far as communicating this information out through their flyers and the network, and we move forward from that perspective. So again, I'm not asking for something that doesn't already really exist, other than some nuanced changes to the setup of the parking lot and the campground, that the folks will be camping. In relationship to what we're looking at as far as taxpayers' dollars, those arguments can go back and forth as far as shots and volleys and things of that nature. We have paid, we're going to be paying over $40,000 for tables and chairs here for this township board. That is not coming out of, your own pocket or my own pocket. That is coming from our taxpayers' dollars. I'm pretty certain we could have did that cheaper than doing what we did. I'm not saying that is a knock against you personally. We as a board are committed to that piece, but I know that individuals on this board voted for that because that's why we were moving in and purchasing these items. I think taxpayers at home are questioning, why did we do that? Here we have the community who's saying, pieces of the community who want to do this opportunity. I'm pretty certain if we had, surveyed our residents, they would have said, we're not in favor of you purchasing tables and chairs at $40,000 or more.
But that's 13 tables and chairs. 13
Not a
tables
back and
and
forth,
chairs.
Ms. Meltzer.
Okay,
You
yes,
wanted to make sure,
please.
You wanted to make sure
Yes.
that I enforced the rules, that this was not
Please
a back
do.
and forth. Trustee
Please do.
King has the floor.
I yield.
Okay. So if I can, ladies, I'm going to get back to you, okay? I just need you to be patient with us, okay? We have our recreation director in the back. Tammy, Ms. Letkavich, if you could come on up. I want to get a sense here. So part of the confusion here is this started off as a recreation program where we wanted to open up a overnight camping for everyone in the township. It was going to take place at Prince Drury Park. I think it's good to have a sense as to what we've done in the past in this regard. If you could give us a sense as to how this was managed in the past and kind of the evolution.
Yeah, and absolutely, I was gonna say, that was my initial question, is a lot of my notes were on when it was more of a township thing, but in the past, so when we did it, again, our planning process is. Yep, so our planning process is extended, like for instance, right now, I'm planning for events in February of 2027, so we plan pretty far out. And that gives us time to plan for staffing, sponsorships, layouts. We work with many other departments. Like all my events take place in parks, but I have to work with DPS to get that scheduled and maintained and taken care of. The actual event, when we held it, so yes, we registered families. They registered for I think it was a 20 by 20 space. We had it mapped out so they knew where they were going, and it was assigned campsites, so to speak. We staffed it with multiple seasonal, and then we had full-time staff overnight. Just to make sure, again, we were having families in the park when the park was closed, so we needed township staff in presence just to make sure that everything was running smoothly and everyone was okay. And I mean, that's the gist of it. If you have more specifics, I'd be happy to get deeper into that.
Question.
Okay, so if I can, so it starts well in advance, but it was a township program. I'm
Yes.
not sure what the nature of this program is going to be. So is this a township-sponsored event, or is this a group that we're allowing to use township property for a certain purpose?
Yes.
Okay. So the township doesn't have a role in planning and organizing this?
No.
Okay. So here's my concern with that. We have the Quinn Road Community Group, right? But we also have the Prince Drury Park Advisory Committee that helps us sort of plan events within that park. I know the Quinn Road Reunion has been going on a long, long time. And it's a great event, and it's wonderful to see people coming back who have been part of the community and meeting the people that are there now. That's wonderful. I know that one of the churches does a campout. They do it on their property. If the township were to be sanctioning another group to do an event on township property, I'm assuming either Ms. Letkavich or Ms. Bednar, you would have plotted out the issues, but most importantly, the liability. So who's liable if something goes wrong in this case? And I'd also open that up to our attorney as well. But you guys have experience with it as our staff that organize these things.
So when someone rents a pavilion, they and they want to have a bounce house, they have to have, the insurance company has to have liability insurance, and we assure all of that. So in this case, I don't know who would be, I mean, I know it's not a township event, so it wouldn't be ours, but I'm not sure exactly. Those are things we'd have to work out, is the liability, and what kind of insurance would mean. Is there any kind of fees for the pavilions or to use that space? So there's quite a few things on that. But as far as how in the past is, when someone does a wedding or an event, they have to have their different insurances, and they're liable for their events.
Okay, so now this event has morphed into not a township recreation-sponsored campout with township registration for kids, but it's more along the lines of families who may or may not be attending the Quinn Road Reunion, and this grid system, which, you know, I don't plan campgrounds, so I don't know that, but what the problems may arise there. But I do know that the state has regulations on campgrounds. Are we then subjecting ourselves to these state regulations? Because this is no longer a kid event, it's an adult event. Are there campers? Are there tents? You know, how does this work with the state? I know we just had a run-in with the Miley
Yeah, I was going to
program.
say, I can give a brief. I've not fully delved in because, one, I don't oversee the parks, and two, I'm not looking to start a campground. But there are limits on how many nights you can allow camping in parks before you have to apply for campground licensing. So My first question with that is if we're approving it now, what's the process for saying what dates are approved? Because it is a very low limit before you have to apply for campground licensing. And again, I would have to look that up and verify a lot more information before.
Okay. So all of these things, I believe, are things that are usually done by committees, which is why we have committees.
Which is why are we having
have
this
Ms.
conversation?
Meltzer?
Why is this
Ms.
happening?
Meltzer?
It
Ms.
should
Meltzer.
have gone to
Ms.
the
Meltzer,
committee
I have
for
the
sure.
floor.
I understand.
Ms.
but
Meltzer,
This
please.
has gone on way too long.
So committees usually discuss these things, bring it to the
Yes.
floor. They work with the department heads. When it's ready, comes to here, we do approval. I'm not sure we're at that point. And I'll surrender the floor. Treasurer Aiello, you wish to speak?
Tammy, I just want to ask you a question. I thought when we spoke this morning in the staff meeting that you mentioned that this campover programs have failed, and then I believe if I'm correct from memory, recall that you said it basically participation was very minimum, and you believe that might have been one of the reasons. Is that correct?
Yeah, so when we ran ours, and again, this was probably close to a decade ago, we stopped running it because the numbers were declining. So that doesn't mean it couldn't work now, but that was the reason why we no longer thought it was worth our budget.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, I have Trustee Matuzik, then Trustee Wade.
Is the intention camping Friday and Saturday, or just Friday?
Friday.
Just Friday.
Just
Okay.
Friday.
Trustee Wade.
The more you talked about this, it opened up a lot more questions. Because what happens in 6 months from now if they're having a class reunion for Chippewa Valley High School and they want to rent out George Park and have everyone camp out there? How can we tell them no? If we allow it at one
I would tell them
park,
to use their own football field, but
you know what the hypothetical is here?
I do.
Now
I do, I
we're
understand.
opening this up to many other things, and I don't know how you could tell them no if you're telling somebody at another park yes. And I was basing this on Parks and Recs running this, but clearly they're not. So I have a whole different set of questions now, but I'll leave it at that.
All right. Ladies, you wanted to add, so I want to give you an opportunity. So, thank you.
So I have a few things to say. I just want to correct some of the things you said. You did say it's just going to be an adult event. It's not. It's a family event, so it is going to be children there.
But I just wanted to say it was no longer like a kid event run by Parks and Rec. So, okay.
And
families, I get it, but with adults, right?
Yes, with
Okay.
adults.
All right.
And then the next thing is, as far as we are like the Quinn Road Community Committee, so we are not the people that, because I heard you say it's for the people that's not attending the Quinn Road reunion. We are the people that's attending the Quinn Road reunion. So yeah, everybody is on board with this. And I just wanted to say one thing. I just may be off topic, but when he came up here and mentioned about when you guys were talking about Chippewa crossing guards or whatever, and he came up here and asked about Glendale, and you guys kind of shot that down because you like, we're not talking about that. I just want to know why they keep bringing up, well, if we allow you guys to do it, then 6 months from now, then what about Chippewas doing that? Well, we're talking about us right now in Quinn Road and Prince George Park, so.
Yeah, so the question before us is, do we allow a separate group to utilize a township park to host an event that has never been hosted before, and what liability does that cause for the township? As a deliberative body, we have to figure those questions out. The comparison to Clintondale is that wasn't what we were discussing during that particular topic.
Right, but we're discussing just Prince George right now. We're not discussing if 6
Well, I think
months
there's a
from
lot
now,
of
somebody
confusion.
asks, hey, you guys let them get the $6,000, which we're not even asking for anymore, but you guys let them have a camp out at a park. Why can't we have a camp out? Well, if that's something they want to do, they can come up and present it just like I'm doing right now. But at this point, I feel like this is something we're asking, so I don't understand why people keep bringing up other things.
Ma'am.
Well, actually, too, like,
To the,
I understand
microphone.
what he's saying, like, you know, one person does this and the next person to come up and then want to do it as well.
Mm-hmm.
But let's go back to literally like at hand. Is Chippewa, Rochester, Sterling Heights, do they have reunions like Quinn Road has done? I haven't heard of it. And I have family members that live in all the area codes. I haven't heard of them doing like we do at Quinn Road. So to kind of mix the two, it's like two different things there because they never really did that.
Remember, the comments are coming through the chair.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
They never did that in other places like Quinn Road has done for many, many years.
Yep.
So with that being said, since they're doing this and we've always did this, it has been issues, but every place is going to be an issue. You can't determine that. But to give it a try to see where it goes, it's like she's saying, okay, we're definitely not funding that, but you'll fund for tables and chairs. He's saying, oh, we definitely don't want to go for that because it's a lack of timing. And then what if this person wants to do it, if this person doing it? Everybody kind of overlooked the fact that the residents, which is us, is paying taxpayers' money that lives in Clinton Township, Mount Clemens, the whole area, okay? And they're not cheap because I pay them
Ma'am.
diligently.
Ma'am, through the
But
chair.
we are taxpayers, all of
Yep.
us. We don't rent, we don't live in the low incomes, we own houses, okay? So with that being said, it's like you're taking away or shooting down something totally that a unity of a community from the Quinn Road Union, because this stems from the Quinn Road Union that we're trying to do this. We're not trying to camp out here on the 4th of July or the 5th or something like that. This is diligent, strictly for the Quinn Road Union. And everybody literally that's at the Quinn Road Union, even if petitions, if we had to do that, they're willing to sign all that. This is something as a whole people are trying to do for their community. It's not just what you see here. So if that's, being said, like, you need more security or this or that, we can get at that. We can get that done because it's a community that's trying to do this. We have our children that's going to be there. We have our people that's going to be attending. So everybody wants people to stay safe, and parking and where the it's going to be. It's like a community getting together and making it happen.
Yep.
Well, registered, however.
So, all right. So, but I think you can see here that there's been a lot of confusion as to
Yes.
what the nature of this event is, which is why I suggest that going through a committee,
Okay.
vetting all those questions, then bringing it forward. Well, I mean, it could have gone through, the Quinn Road Community Committee is a group that plans that event,
I know
right?
exactly who they are, yeah.
Then there's the Prince Drury Park Advisory Committee.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's the Parks and Recreation Committee.
Okay.
Which we just appointed somebody on the,
That's
board
here.
tonight.
Yeah.
Then staff goes to those committee meetings.
Okay.
And then when people have ideas, then you have policymakers as well as the staff that has to implement the policy that we create, kind of run all the traps and say, hey, what happens if this happens? What is our consideration here? What is our liability for the township? In the overall planning of it. Those are the things that happen at the committee level.
Okay, I understand. I just got one
Okay.
question. So with all that being said, so with the Quinn Road Reunion, okay, and that's taken place for years and years.
Okay.
Who orchestrated that? Who literally is up to what township or anybody who's there to enforce that or to make sure, everything goes smooth with that? Because like I said, I attend.
So years ago, we know that the Quinn Road Reunion Committee happens every year.
Okay.
Right? And the board had previously voted to do like a 5-year authorization. But there are processes back and forth between the committee and Ms. Bednar. Are there not, Ms. Bednar? Give us a sense, if you will, as to what happens in that regard.
For example, just today, the deposit for the pavilions were paid, but there's talk back and forth with the extra porta potties, us bringing in garbage cans. We actually have a park ranger that stays there all day basically emptying garbage cans, making sure that everything is handled. A lot of stuff now, Paul, has been already through the years worked out, but it's understood who's, that they get the porta potties, but we're getting the big dumpster for priority to be able to empty the garbage. So all that's been worked out, and so it's kind of, just works itself out at this point. But those are the processes, and we've had to go back and forth over the years to make sure everyone knows which role is their role and which role is our role. But we do have someone there all day, making sure that if a fuse blows, we can turn that fuse back on and so forth.
Mr. Supervisor, I'm making a question. I'm calling the question. I need a second. Can I get a second
I'll
to call the
second that.
question? Thank you.
I'm done.
Okay.
Thank
So the
you.
question's been called. A motion to call the question. Roll call on if we call the question.
We have a second. Yeah, I made the call,
Yeah.
and we have a
Treasurer,
second. Yes.
We have a second. It's a vote on whether we call the question.
Yeah, and it's non-debatable, so you go right to voting on it.
It's on vote what?
Voting on calling
To
the
call a
question.
question. There is no debate.
Trustee Matuzik.
There is no debate, I believe. Is
Point of
there?
order.
It's a point of order.
Trustee Matuzik.
If the motion to call the question is successful, does that then cut off all debate?
Yes.
Going forward? And public comment?
Yes.
Because we have two people
Yes.
who wish to speak.
Yes,
Okay.
Okay.
Point of
what you
order
want?
has been
that is
asked.
what I want.
residents
Point of
from
order
speaking?
has been
Yes.
asked and answered.
Yes.
Roll call on calling the question. Ms. Meltzer, roll call.
Clerk Meltzer, yes. Treasurer Aiello.
Yes.
Trustee Wade.
This is to end debate. No.
Trustee Matuzik.
No.
Trustee Kress. Supervisor Gilliam.
No.
Trustee King.
No.
Okay, the question has not been called. Motion is on the floor, and it's been supported. Further, I had a growing list of the members of the board. So I had Trustee Wade, Clerk Meltzer. Who else? Trustee Wade.
I just wanted to make a point of clarification that my thought was, when I first read this, that it was going through Parks and Rec. That was the understanding I had, and I had no problem with that. The metaphor that I used about George Park was just because if we allow someone to have a campout not ran through the township, then that's going to open it up to all parks. That was my concern. I'm for it if we plan it and go through Parks and Rec. I think it's a great idea. I've been to the Quinn Road reunion. It's a great event, and I support what goes on that weekend. I really do. But I just want to make it clear, if the township is not the sponsor on a campout, then you can't deny other people to do campouts if they want. If a group wants to get 50 people together and camp out at Normandy Park, I don't know how you could decline them. Because we've now opened that door. That's my thought.
Clerk Meltzer.
Thank you. So the reason I called the question is because, as we know, this is a business meeting of the township. What's been transpiring here is a committee hearing, and this is not the place for that. The trustee that put this on the agenda put it on without having any facts to back it up. And again, it's not that we want to say no, it's that we have to have information that protects the taxpayer, and I'm not just talking about money, I'm talking about the legal protection, the safety. These are things that should never have been brought up here at this meeting. All of that should have been decided in a committee. That's why I would like to have this to go to the Prince Drury Committee and have them vet all of these questions, ask everything that needs to be asked, and then they can bring it back. There is not time to do it this year, unfortunately, but if they can get together, they still can have your Quinn Road reunion. That can happen. It's just, as you are wanting to do what's been proposed in the board packet and then taken out, then put back in, that can't happen tonight. We have got to, know that the township is protected. We have to know that there's organization, and then we can bring it back after the committee has vetted all that. Then it can come back for final board approval.
Ms. Meltzer, you are the motion maker to deny. That motion has been seconded. That's what's on the floor right now.
Yes.
You are now suggesting that this be somehow referred to a committee. Are you changing your motion, or are you?
No.
Okay.
I mean,
All right.
we can
I just
add an
wanted to
addition.
clarify, Ms.
We could add
Meltzer.
an addition to it.
Ms. Meltzer,
but
that
this
was my
is-
question.
This is to deny, but if you'd like me to add it, the additional request that it goes to.
It's not a
Prince
question of
Jury
what I would like,
Committee,
Ms. Meltzer.
I'm on
It's
support
what
of
your
that.
motion
Would you like that?
is.
No? Okay, I can't get a second. So yes, this is a motion to deny
Okay.
the request as presented.
All right. Further board members? Public participate. Trustee King. Sir.
Again, just to make sure people understand, please look back and see who voted for the $40,000 tables and chairs. Just look.
Okay.
Now, I understand that there is.
Mr. Supervisor,
Can I
your
please
moment.
Trustee King, 40,000 for the board chairs is non-germane to the issue, but
I think it is.
I would ask you to stick to the subject matter of the motion.
All I'm saying is that we have individuals in a community who would like to do something that's positive. I understand that we're trying to make sure that the township is safe. We're finding so many reasons why we can't do something, as opposed to trying to help find reasons why we can do something, and to try to move something forward that is what we would like to see happen in our community. And I just think we're bringing up all these things about this, that, and the other that, quite frankly, are not necessarily representative of what our township needs or is looking for. That's all.
Okay. Public participation.
Can we stop
The
the sidebar conversations over here? It's like snicker chat
Okay,
over here.
all
It's
right.
like
I'm not snickering.
Mr.
at
Bouchel,
that.
you have the floor.
chit-chatting going on over here. I don't know what's happening. It's very distracting.
I would like everybody.
Mr. Bouchel, you have the floor.
I would love everybody in the community to realize how long these people have done so much for the community with the reunion. You're looking for unity in the township. This is something for unity. It's a group. You've had groups come in here that have never had anything on that got approved for something. These people have been doing this for years. It's one of the best. It gets in the paper every year, a positive for Clinton Township, which there isn't very many of them if you look at the crime report and such that. And there again, earlier tonight we were talking about Unity Park. Well, Unity Park, when it first came on, you should all go back and look at the videos when it was done. It was supposed to have a whole bunch about Native Americans, and that was not on part of what you approved tonight. So, I think you got to just look at that and realize this board, when you say, oh, plan, they really, literally, how many years, how many decades has this reunion gone on? A super success, a super positive for Clinton Township, and now they have, I would say, with the amount of people that came here tonight to try to push this through, it's sad. It is really, it's sad. I really apologize, but this is the type of board we have.
Mr. Bouchel, direct your comments through the chair. All right. Further public participation.
Hi. Good evening, board. I just had a few things that I wanted to try to point out really quick here. I understand we had some deep conversations on
Name and
on
address
matter.
for the record, please.
My name's William Rucker, 35057 Willie Street, Clinton Township. We're requesting that we get a temporary 1 weekend special variance to ensure the overnight campsite at the park, specifically to ensure public safety. By allowing a small registered number of out-of-town elders and family members to stay on site, we're going to prevent late-night travel. We're going to eliminate the risk of impaired driving in the township roads. And we're going to maintain a quiet, continuous family presence that would deter neighborhood vandalism, let's just say. Now, I don't speak for the Quinro Reunion Club at all, but it is my understanding that the operational concerns of the township could be fully managed if supported by the administration, with including Parks and Recs coming together with the people of the committee. I think this could be, they could possibly rent their own portable restrooms. They could establish a volunteer park watch crew for overnight security, possibly. Ensure maybe a strict noise curfew. Just a few things that I thought to rattle off. This pertains to the board. Board, we are asking tonight that to direct the Public Service and Recreations Department to collaborate with the committees on a temporary conditional permit for this year's reunion. Let's work together to keep the families safe, everything legal, and right here at home on Quinn Road. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Further public participation.
My name is David Hilliard, 20418 Cortina Street, and I understand everyone's concerns about the timing and everything like that, but what I believe is the main mispoint is the timing, and what is basically what's being talked about being planned kind of works out. It's not going to be obviously a lot of people who are going to get the message and show up to this thing, and it's going to be a big sponsored thing. It obviously doesn't have time for the word to get around for that to happen. But what's important is passing down the message of this thing to new people. So that's really what the thing is how do we get this message of this reunion to new people, to new kids, to people overnight, getting these stories being told. And this is a perfect way of doing it. I mean, we can't get the whole, Clinton Township together. Obviously, it's too late for that. But having a small group of people there and just having a small group who can sleep over, have some stories with those people and leave or stay for the reunion would be a great thing for the community. I understand there are precedents that don't want to be set, but there's also a very, very special circumstance here that I don't believe I can think of anywhere else in Clinton Township that anyone can mimic or imitate. And it's something that in Clinton Township, I feel like we need to start boosting more of to make sure its historical past is remembered and it's something that we can boost up, because it's being forgotten, and that's not a good thing for our community. So unity and history is important, and deciding to not go with it because it can't be done in a certain way and wait in a year doesn't usually work with history that way. It's good to strike with iron's hot. That's just how I feel about that. Thank you.
Thank you. Further public participation. Further discussion from the board? Roll call, please.
Clerk Meltzer, yes. Oh, sorry, one second. Treasurer Aiello?
Yes.
Trustee Wade?
Yes.
Trustee Matuzak?
No.
Trustee Kress?
Yes.
Supervisor Gillaham?
Yes.
Trustee King?
No.
Motion passes, I'm sorry. To
Okay.
reject.
That concludes item number 8, public comment. Officer? Okay. Tonight, we have one public comment, Mr. Bouchel.
As I noted in the email I sent all of you earlier today, and as you know, mine are always very well documented with the property number, the date that the board approved the site plan, and the different, you've gotten pictures and videos over the last 2 years with this property on Groesbeck, very prominent. And literally, the one thing your attorney obviously knows, it's very clear in the ordinances, no parking lot can be unpaved without 6-inch curbs. And there again, this property that I'm talking about, that you all have the property number of, it literally is listed as unimproved vacant land. It's been a business since it was before it was approved in 2023. And you are talking, I have put in various complaints. Our ordinance officers have not done anything about it. We have, and there again, you can go by there any day and you'll see that the cars are parked and you'll see different trucks and such being stored there in the front part of the parking lot. Well, it's not a parking lot though. The site plan is very clear. I actually sent each of you copies of the site plan quite a while ago. No parking lot is there. None of that is legal. And yet for some reason, when this board can keep hiring more and more ordinance officers to go out and go after residents for ridiculous stuff, you then have this property that literally, I think, and I'm going to be putting it on Facebook tomorrow so people can understand. They can look at the property, see if they think it looks vacant, see if they think it looks unimproved, and wonder how it is that our tax assessor, now as you all know, and I'm sure the tax assessor can tell you, when permits are pulled to put in improvements like the over 1,000 feet of chain link fence there, that permit, once it goes through, the assessor gets a copy, and that's how they assess. I'm going to guess, and I could be wrong, I'm only guessing, that the assessor is going to say, we never got any copy of any permits for any of this stuff, not the sidewalks, not anything that's there. And that's why it's still vacant property, a business. And then if you look at the homes right behind it that have to put up with the mess, as I've also pointed out to you, as I've sent you before, the homes, little lots, they're paying over twice the taxes of this property. You are definitely, for some reason, this board is very careful, because you all know about this. You all have seen the pictures. You've all seen the site plan. If you're allowing this to go on and you're allowing the citizens to pay twice the taxes on a single-family home where there's business that is literally 2.5 acres, a mess all the time, very illegal, and this board approved it. But you approved it without that parking lot, without that stuff in the front yard. The only landscaping they've got is actually in the road right away. That's why the sidewalk has to do the big old boat, because the sidewalk is
10 seconds, Mr. Bouchel.
Well, there again, congratulations on all of you to be able to look at all this, get all this information, and do nothing in all these years, and your taxpayers are paying for it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Further public participation? Seeing none, motion to adjourn is in order.
I'll make that motion to adjourn.
I'll support it.
Moved and supported. Roll call, please, Ms.
Treasurer
Meltzer.
Aiello?
Yes.
Trustee Wade?
Yes.
Trustee Matuzak?
Yes.
Trustee Kress?
Yes.
Supervisor Gilliam?
Yes.
Trustee King?
Yes.
Clerk Meltzer, yes. Motion passes.
We are adjourned.